The section of the Darent Valley from Otford to Farningham falls within the Kent Downs area of outstanding natural beauty. The picturesque qualities of the area were made famous by the Valley of Vision landscape paintings of Samuel Palmer, who lived in Shoreham from 1826 to 1835. The rest of the valley may be less picturesque, but much of it is surprisingly rural and all of it is full of history.
Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping well. I'm joined by Luke from the Real Travelling Amigos once again.
Hello.
We are in Kent, we're at the lovely little village of Chipstead. Behind us is Chipstead Lakes, or Lake, I believe. And we are starting, and doing this weekend, the Darent Valley Path. It's about 19-20 miles, and you can start from here in Chipstead, or you can start at Sevenoaks train station, and it goes all the way out to the Dartford Creek Barrier on the Thames Estuary, on the outskirts of Dartford, of course. So we'll be following the River Darent, or the valley that it sits in at least. We're planning on wild camping, hopefully around Haugen Kirby, right by the river. We've got our OEX Salamander Hoots bivvies with us tonight. The walk is coming from this new guidebook I got from the Ramblers Association, and there's 3 different river-based long distance walks in Kent in this book. So we're doing the first one, Darent Valley Path, then there's like the Eden Valley Walk and the Medway Valley Walk. Hope to do all of those at some point this year. The weather is really good today. It's a little bit windy, apologies for that. I've got the microphone in, but he's a bit temperamental. Really looking forward to this one. And there's a few pubs along the way. Of course, pubs are sort of open at the moment. You have
the gardens are, aren't they?
The gardens are. If the weather's good, it's nice to sit outside. And to be honest with you, if I go in a pub, I usually end up sitting outside with a drink anyway. So it's win-win. So I'm looking forward to that. And we can also fill up our water bottles from there as well. Enough talking, and let's get walking.
Chipstead Lakes, better known as Sevenoaks Wildlife Reserve, are former flooded gravel pits set in woodland and are operated by Kent Wildlife Trust. They are free to visit any day. The origin of the name Darent, alternatively Darent, is variously explained, but the most popular interpretation is that the name is derived from early English words meaning river of oaks. The valley has been a welcoming environment for man for as long as there have been people in Britain. Fertile soils, a route of communication and transport, and later a source of power, have all been exploited over the centuries. Stone Age flints, Bronze Age axe heads, Roman villas, Saxon cemeteries, Norman churches, medieval hall houses, a Tudor palace, water mills aplenty, and gunpowder and explosives factories make a far from complete list of artefacts evidencing the vibrant life of the valley. There is much to see along the way. The path has alternative starting points at Chipstead and at Sevenoaks station. There is a car park and a pub at the former, but the latter is very convenient for those wishing to return to their starting point by train, as the line from Bromley to Sevenoaks passes through Ainsford, Shoreham and Otford. The routes merge at the railway bridge immediately before the lavender fields just south of Otford.
Okay everyone, it's about midday now. It's getting very warm, and this is the point where the Darent Valley Path and the North Downs Way converge, and we'll be following that to the outskirts of Otford and then on to Shoreham. So, of course, myself and Luke, we did the North Downs Way last year now. We've done both routes, we've done the Canterbury Loop and we've done the mainline route along the cliffs at Folkestone and stuff. Fantastic path. It was very difficult at times, but well worth it, and it's one of the things that will stay with you for life, you know. Memories, I still talk about it now. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've not seen those videos already, if you're new to my channel, hello, welcome, thank you very much. And I'm going to stick a little link up here for you, so if you want to start watching the North Downs Way, there's quite a few videos I did on it, you're more than welcome to. Right everyone, it's about 12:30 now, and we've just reached the outskirts of Otford, and the river is below us somewhere. So this is the point where we leave the North Downs Way now, that heads off that way and up a really big hill, and we follow the Darent Valley Path this way beside the river.
The village of Otford is worth a detour. There are many listed buildings on or around the high street, most famously the duck pond in the middle of the roundabout opposite the church. The first house on our right as we enter the village, largely hidden from view behind tall fences, is Broughton Manor. For nearly 3 centuries until 1830, a house on this site was the home of the Polhill family, whose estate included much land around Otford and Shoreham. Monuments to various members of the family adorn Otford Church. It is recorded in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle that in 776 AD the forces of Offa, king of Mercia, fought those of Kent at Otford. Sources have differing views as to who won. Kent was eventually absorbed into Mercia, but the outcome may have been delayed by the battle. There was a clearer outcome to a battle here in 1016 when Edmund Ironside defeated Canute and the Danes. On the hillside and easily accessible by public footpaths, although a bit of a climb from the village, this memorial, known as Shoreham Cross, is to the fallen of the First World War and is made of compacted chalk. It was completed in 1921. Alright again peeps, it's about 2 PM now and we've just arrived in Shoreham, and we're gonna hopefully get in the pub, or the outside as I say, like the beer garden, get a cold drink, maybe some crisps. It's really warm, but there is like a breeze that comes and goes. Bring on that pub. Waterhouse is known as the home of artist Samuel Palmer, who lived in Shoreham from 1826 to 1835. Initially, he lived in a run-down cottage nicknamed Rat Abbey, but when his father, Samuel Sr., rented half of what was then called Waterhouse in 1828, Samuel Jr. moved in with him. Palmer was much influenced by William Blake to pursue a mystical interpretation of landscape, and it was during his time at Shoreham that this was expressed most strongly. We have arrived at the Crown in Shoreham, and we've been relegated to sitting in the corner of the car park on a couple of plastic chairs. It's full up, you have to book a table in advance, of course. And we was like, look, we'll sit anywhere, we'll sit on the grass. They went, well, it's going to be a bit crowded there, you know, we've got to keep you all socially distanced and stuff. So yeah, we're sat in the corner literally of the car park. On the bright side though, big pint of Coke, Luke's got a lemonade and lime, and then I've got half a Magnus, because I just thought, why not, I'm getting a cider, even though they didn't have a very good range of ciders, either that or I suppose they're just limiting it at the moment, because you have to order through a little window, collect your drinks through another little window, and then go and sit somewhere. And, yeah, it's all good though, we're going to enjoy the sun, sit here till probably about 3 o'clock, it's all kicking off in there, and then we'll be on our merry way. Cheers everyone. Operated by Kent County Council, the visitor centre has a car park, toilets and a popular cafe. The park was once a deer park, and the remains of the high iron deer fence that surrounded it can still be seen in some places. The park is now shared between a golf course and a country park, with its woodland and wildflower meadows. For lunch today, I've got this US MRE Menu 20 Italian sausage with pepper and onions in marinara sauce. This was kindly given to me by Jason, a subscriber. He's got a channel called J&J Explore. It's from Tasmania, so I've not done a little ration pack review for a while, but inside we've got the main meal, that Italian sausage with peppers and onions in marinara sauce, the heat sleeve, the FRH, the flameless ration heater. They're a bit crap in these ones. We've got a spork, a spoon. They're pretty good, the US ones. I added a hot chocolate because it's got coffee in it, this, and I don't like the coffee on its own. We've got some osmotic cranberries. That basically means dried cranberries, really. They're really good. We've got some jalapeno flavour cashews. They're amazing.
Jalapeno.
Now this, everyone else hates except me. It's the cheese spread, and I think it's really nice. And we can put that on these crackers, which are really dry. If not, like a drinks bag, a trail mix, recovery trail mix. That's why I bought this ration pack for this trip. In the accessory bag, which has fallen apart, we've got some sugar, some matches, some chewing gum. I reckon that's cinnamon flavour if it's in a red packet. We've got some Bill's Brew freeze dried coffee. Cheers, Bill. We've got some non-dairy creamer. Yep. Some tissue paper. Yep. We've got beverage base orange type 3 powder. I'm going to stick that in my water bottle now, probably. A wet wipe, some iodised salt, and that is it. Enough yakking, and let's get snacking. Right, so we did the FRH and it didn't really heat up that much, so we just whacked it on Luke's gas stove, and he's about to tuck into the chicken korma from Jason now. So here we go, mate. Moment of truth. I can smell it from here as well.
Here comes the aeroplane.
Just some bright orange stuff. Cheers, Jason. Anyway, I do appreciate it.
You know what?
good, isn't it?
Tastes like korma.
Well, nah, really?
Yeah, so it's not too bad. It's not obviously like curry house quality, but
No.
it's like microwave kind of curry.
So that was like, I think, one of 3 main meals that come with this big 24-hour ration pack. I had the beef and pasta, and it disagreed with me a bit, so I thought it was probably going to do the same with that one as well. But yeah, Luke seems to like it. I think he's more of a curry fan than I am. Yeah. Right, the moment of truth has arrived. We've got the Italian sausage with peppers and onions in marinara sauce ready. It's very orange looking. See if I can get a good camera angle. There you go. That's about the best I can do for you. I suppose it's better than nothing, but it looks like it could be a little bit spicy as well.
That's a spicy meatball.
I'm just going to eat it. Cheers, Jason. It's alright. Slight spice to it, but you can sort of taste like the chemicals in it as well, which isn't ideal. That's probably going to disagree with me later on this. I personally wouldn't get this one, but I've had worse, like that creamy spinach fettuccine one. I'm sorry, Jason, I wasn't a massive fan of the thing, so I've kindly given it to Luke. I thought it's what you would have wanted. I'd rather that than waste it.
I think it's really good, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, Luke will eat anything. It should be called the Hoover or landfill. You give him any food and he'll eat it. I'm quite fussy, I'm afraid. Got the coffee and the hot chocolate. That should be a winner. And this trail mix, I've chucked the cranberries and everything else in it. I think it's got like pretzels, hazelnuts, peanuts, cashews, almonds. And it's really nice, and you get a hell of a lot in there. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. Everything else was fine. It was just the main meal, I'm afraid.
The red brick gatehouse dates from 1492, although the right-hand tower has been restored after being hit by a flying bomb in 1944. The main manor house has a Queen Anne west facade, which houses the main entrance, but there are surviving parts of the original Tudor building to the north and east facades. It was not called a castle until the middle of the 18th century. In 1932, a silk farm with mulberry trees was established here by the then Lady Hart Dyke. Silk from the farm was used for both Queen Elizabeth's wedding dress and coronation robes. The business was sold and moved elsewhere in the 1950s. Within the walled garden, a world garden of plants has been created. There is a somewhat distorted world map with each country represented by its native plants. The new garden opened in 2005. The project was the subject of a BBC TV series broadcast in 2006 and 2007.
So in this big, rather ultra modern looking building is the remains of Lullingstone Roman Villa, one of the most preserved Roman villas in the country. It's owned by English Heritage. It's not going to be open at the moment, but when it is, you can be sure I'm going to go there with the very lovely Candice and hopefully film in there, at least get some photos anyway.
Lullingstone Roman Villa is managed by English Heritage, and it's an important site with its exceptional mosaics, clear ground plan and the earliest recorded place of Christian worship in Britain, and it's well worth a visit. The remains are covered with a recently renewed building that contains impressive displays of Roman artefacts. Occupied from around AD 100 to AD 400, the villa was excavated in the 1950s. Ainsford Viaduct, with its 9 brick arches topped with a stone balustrade, was opened in 1862 and still carries the railway from London to Sevenoaks via Baton Ball, not the more direct route via Orpington, Maidstone and beyond. The Ford and Humpback Bridge over the Darent, with either the Norman church or the Tudor cottage in the background depending which way you are looking, is a greatly photographed and painted scene that testifies to the antiquity of the village. Scattered amongst the more modern houses strung along the main road, you will still find a good number of worthy old buildings.
We've just entered like the outskirts of Ainsford. I've done a video here before, a little walk, but yeah, check out my video up here. I'll stick a link to it and you can watch that. It's a bit of an older one. Luke's also done a video there as well, so check out his channel, the Real Travelling Amigos. He's got some good stuff on there, and of course he's also done the North Downs Way with me as well.
Sparepenny Lane is so named because you could spare or save a penny by using it rather than the main road, which carried a toll. Ainsford Castle is a small Norman castle and was held in the 12th century by William de Ainsford, who fell out with Archbishop Thomas Becket, by whom he was then excommunicated. After Becket's death in 1170, the strength of public feeling against his enemies forced William to abandon the castle, never to return. Or so the story goes. More reliable sources indicate that the castle was not abandoned until 1312, following a dispute over inheritance of the castle after the de Ainsford family died out. The building consists of the remains of a hall surrounded by a high curtain wall, both made predominantly of flints. In the 18th and early 19th centuries, the village of Farningham was a major overnight stop for those travelling by coach between London and the Kent coast. Most of the fine surviving buildings are from that era, when there were many coaching inns catering for different sections of society. The Lion Hotel catered for the grandest clientele, including officers and gentry, while the Bull Inn was more popular with farmers and tradesmen. Farningham Mill and associated buildings make a charming ensemble. There has been a mill here at least since the Domesday Book, and probably much longer. The present white weatherboarded mill and brick house were built in the 18th century by Charles Coiler, whose family continued to own the property until 2010, despite the grinding of corn ceasing in 1900 or thereabouts. The purpose of this structure is not known with certainty, but the prevailing hypothesis is that it was to prevent cattle from wandering downstream while crossing the ford. It seems rather more ornate than necessary for the job it did, and was presumably intended to show off the landowner's wealth.
It's just gone 7 PM and we've arrived on the outskirts of Halton Kirby. beside the River Darent again. Quite wide and fast flowing the river at this point, and this is where I'm hoping we can wild campsite. This is what I've planned. I did a little like 2.5 mile circular day walk here along this stretch with Candice. I've got a video somewhere on it that you can watch. I sort of used that day walk as a scouting opportunity for the Darent Valley Path for like wild camp spots. This would probably be ideal, and yeah, we can camp literally right by the river tonight. You probably could just collect water out of the river, purify it, boil it and whatnot, and it'd probably be alright to drink really. But we thought, well, there's been plenty of pubs and settlements along the way, we may as well just collect water from there, and we know it's 100% safe, we haven't got to do anything with it, whereas this you don't know, but it probably is alright. Yeah, there's a few places, so we're going to have a look around, pick the best one, and then get set up. The sun is sort of just starting to go down, as you can probably see by the golden tones. I think we found our spot for the night here to camp right by the River Darent. We've got some sort of flat spots along here. The path, by the way, is actually just up there along there, so we're out of the way. So we'll get set up in a minute. And I've got some of Luke's Chur outdoor pegs, ground pungers. I've got the pegs that the bivvy came with as well, but let's use the Chur outdoor ones, eh? Be rude not to. So that's me all set up. Luke is set up just behind the camera. We've both got our OEX Salamander hooped bivvies with us tonight. They just fit perfectly in this little gap here. They're nice and low profile, and I find that smaller space just keeps you insulated better, because there's the warm air sort of is, you know, circulated in a smaller area. It doesn't sort of spread out and dissipate as much, I find. I sleep really well in these things anyway. Haven't really tested this out in rain yet. It's meant to be waterproof and breathable. Who knows? We're not forecast rain tonight, so neither of us have bought a tarp. We're just sort of trying to stay light and, you know, minimal sort of setup, so we can set it up quick and take it down quick as well in the morning, and travel, you know, relatively light as well. I'm yet to do like a review video on these. I might do it once I've used it a few times, but I am really impressed by these so far. OEX have done a really good job. A little bit heavy, it's about 1.3 kilos, but they're really solid, really good hooped bivvies. If they didn't weigh as much, I'd say they're a strong contender to the Rab Ridge Raider hoop bivvy. I've got one of those. That's really light. It's, I think, about 1 kilo. This, as I say, is 1.3. But if you're looking for like a cheap, sort of budget-friendly but decent hooped bivvy, like you're starting out with using hoop bivvies, I'd go for one of these. And then if you really like hoop bivvies and you want to spend a bit more money, get yourself a Rab Ridge Raider. You can still get them cheap on eBay, and people can after them. Well. Yeah, you second it. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. As I say, we're both satisfied customers with these. I picked this up for 75 quid, 74 quid. There was like a sale on the eBay shop, and at that sort of price, I think, what are they normally, 100, 200 quid? No.
150 probably.
150, my feet are killing me. Yeah, something like that, and I got it for 74, 75 quid. I think Luke did as well. He bought one as soon as I bought it, and yeah, that sort of price, you just got to go for it, haven't you? You know, buy now, ask questions later sort of thing. But I'm not disappointed. Really good, really impressed. Yeah, that's it. I just want to sit and chill out now. I don't want to talk about camping stuff. I just want to crack open one, if not both, of these two beautiful ciders. Alska ciders, Aldi's finest. We've got mango and yellow mandarin, blood orange, cranberry and cinnamon. You don't need to ask the percentage, it's 4%. Food, I'm going to do it all now in one take, so I can then just sit by the river and chill out. Teas, coffees, herbal teas in there. Some meths, lovely. Got some solid fuel tablets as well. For dinner tonight, Decathlon's finest. Pasta bolognese. Just happens to be one of my favourites. Dessert, we've got another Decathlon special. Apple banana crumble style. Lovely, but there's not enough of it in a pouch. You could eat about 5 of them. And then for breakfast, we've got Decathlon again. Chocolate muesli.
They're really nice, I've had them before.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do good meals, Decathlon. Let's just crack on. What cider should we have first? Luke, you want to pick one for us?
I'll go with the orange one.
Blood orange, cranberry and cinnamon?
I think so. Only because I think the other one's going to taste nicer, so I'd have that one first.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers, everyone. Oh, I think I've had this before. I don't know if I've reviewed it. I can't remember. I'm going to give it an 8.3 out of 10. It's good. It's very nice. I like the blood orange and the cinnamon in it. Cranberry.
Is it one of their own brands?
Yeah, it's Alska, yeah.
Cool.
Vegan friendly as well out there. If you're a vegan, it's always good. Right, I've nearly done half of that already. Right, let's get some food on the go.
There's only one way to find out what it tastes like, isn't it?
This, by the way, is one of the alcoholic beverages I gave Luke this morning.
Yes.
It's a stout about it, and it's a vanilla stout from Aldi's. 5.2%, is it?
It is 5.2.
How the hell did I remember that? There we go. So that's the stout about it, vanilla stout that I've got Luke. One of 2 drinks.
Do you want to put a bit in a cup and try it first?
Go on. Fill
Right,
me up.
Where are you? Hang on. Right.
I'll have a little bit.
It's got a nice creamy frothy head.
Just a little bit. That looks really dark.
Is that enough or do you want more?
No, that'll do. No, I'm probably not going to like it.
I don't know if I will or not.
Look at that.
It's got a nice flavour, that smell to it.
Oh, I can taste the vanilla, but
I can. I don't normally like stouts, but I still don't like them.
it's not bad. But I think once it settles, once you've opened
Yeah.
it, then it's gonna the vanilla taste is gonna go. That's what I found with personally with a lot of beers and IPAs. It's not bad though.
Because I don't really like stouts, it's having a 4.3 out of 10.
I'd give it about a 4.5. I don't mind it, but I couldn't drink a lot of it.
Nah.
Sorry about that.
But
I thought he was a
because
fan.
there's an ice cream on the front of it, I feel like I want an ice cream now.
Yeah. I've got a blister on each foot, quite small, probably smaller than a 5p piece. They're not like quite fully formed. They're like white, but they're not like swollen or anything. And I've had worse blisters. I've seen far worse blisters, but it's a little, they sting a bit. But so I've changed out on my walking socks and shoes. I've put those like muddy boots overshoe things on, and a spare pair of dry socks. Aired my feet for a little bit. I've got a blister kit with me in my first aid kit, so I'll do that before I go to sleep. But right now, just sort of letting my feet breathe and rest a bit. I've got one of Luke's Chur Outdoors plastic sporks. I tied a little bit of paracord through it. I've had these pasta bolognese from Decathlon a few times before. They're really good. Can't remember how much they are. Could be around £5. So a little bit pricey, but you get a lot of food in there. There we go. Oh, they've just chucked another out of towner on the bonfire at the pub. Got Tetley's tea as well down there. I've nearly done that cider. Oh, this is nice. Earned this today. It's like the first really substantial meal I've had all day. That ration pack wasn't the best, so it's just the snacks really that kept me going. That's me in the bivvy. It took me a little bit longer than usual just because I've not, of course, done any camping for a few months and I've not used anything like this for a while, so really warm in here, really toasty warm. I can't see I'm going to get cold. Luke says he's pretty toasty in his. It's nice and comfy. I think I've actually picked a spot that's actually flat, level, no lumps and bumps for a change. I've got a little herbal nighttime tea in here somewhere. Somewhere it's just over my right shoulder. Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough day. It's not been too bad. I've had tougher days of walking. We was walking for 8 hours, I reckon, maybe 8.5. Best part of a day's walking, really. But it's worth it. It's been really good fun. Enough yawning. I'll see you in the morning. Night, everyone.